Here, Sandman, Stephon Marbury. Yeah, Stephon Marbury.
Let's do it, man. So Stephon Marbury was on a podcast. You know what I mean? They were having a good conversation, and the conversation to Jay-Z was brought up. Now, when I was reading the headlines, oh God, I was shocked to hear that they even had a beef back in the day, but you knew that prior to the conversation. But I never knew that they had any pre-existing beef or anything, animosity going on. But nonetheless, he made some pretty pin-worthy comments on this podcast where he said Jay-Z sold drugs to his people. He's no hero. He created crack babies. Now here's what he said. You sold drugs to people where you're from, Jay-Z, in Brooklyn, Marcy Projects. You got them on crack. Whatever it is, cocaine, whatever it is you were selling to them. Whatever you say you was cooking up, that's what you did. So now you got your people high. You sold drugs to people that was pregnant. Now you created crack babies. These the same babies that are going out killing grandparents. I'm confused, but that is what it is. That's what happened.
Right.
Now, he had a couple other things to say into why he really doesn't like Jay-Z, but that was in a nutshell what he felt about Jay-Z selling drugs to his people. Oh, God, we've had this discussion with many different people. We've had it with each other. What do you think about what our man Stephon Marbury had to say?
It automatically, when you said we had these discussions, one of those people is Freeway Ricky Ross, the real one. And I asked him, or you asked him, I can't figure who asked him.
You asked him.
Yeah. Does he feel any remorse or empathy or sympathy for contributing to the crack era, for contributing to the different families and stuff that lives were ravaged? And he said, no, he don't have any, because he didn't make nobody, he didn't turn nobody on a crack for the first time. It was already there. He was just trying to make, a living. And to a certain extent, I agree to a certain extent, even with Jay-Z. You're being in this environment, you ain't the biggest crack dealer out there. Like, how's this shit even getting in here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The government's bringing it in, and some people say that shit's an excuse, but ultimately, yeah, you did contribute. You do have blood on your hands. You did contribute to people losing their lives. Regardless of how I got here, regardless of the white man put it here, you chose to pick up that substance. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy, because people do a lot of things, you know what I mean? But what do you expect a kid to do? Born in the inner city, all his, opportunities are pretty much slim to none. He's been put in this experiment, put in this environment, and told to succeed when he don't have any guidance to succeed. And the next kid down the street has all the things that he doesn't have. Your outcome a lot of those times is going to be that people are going to go find those substances, sell drugs, do drugs. It just is what it is. It's like the law of averages. But you're going to have also those people like a Jay-Z who started that way, and he's seen, all right, it's another way, whether it be music, being an exec. I can't do this my whole life. Let me take this money and invest it into the music business, and then take this, and invest it in this and change it. So we all start off young. If people would judge me for what I did in my 20s, man, like, damn, you know what I mean? But
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, as long as we evolve and we say, okay, we made a mistake, and we repay our debt to society, whatever that may be, and now from here on out we move forward and do right. You know what I mean? I don't see nothing, wrong with that. He made the evolution, but on the premise, Stephon Marbury is definitely correct.
You made a great point, man, and that was very well said. Everyone wants to judge the tree, but no one wants to ever look at the root. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to look at, okay, it's easy to say, yeah, these are facts. Black on black crime is at an all-time high. We got to stop killing each other. We see the murder in our inner cities. It's easy to talk about that. It's easy to talk about us putting drugs in the community and the high prison rate. It's easy to talk about that, but no one wants to ever bring up why and begin at the why and start healing from there and seeing a change. We as a people, by nature, aren't harmful people. But if you box us in like rats and you give us no source of any kind of health, any kind of nourishment, any kind of education, we're going to do what we have to do to survive as human beings. Just like any group of white people would do, Pakistani people, Hispanic people. If you put them in a box and give them nothing else but to survive, they're going to do it. It's easy to go and judge Jay-Z, and everyone has done it. We've judged Jay-Z and given criticism to Jay-Z where we see fit, but it's not fair to that kid out there who has 3 brothers and sisters who don't know how to feed him, whose mother's strung out, and don't have any other source to tell him that he's wrong. And 20 years later, he could possibly change that, buy that block up, and change other people's lives. We're going to judge him now for what he did then, it's just kind of wrong. And when you told me about the pre-existing animosity, it all made sense on why he kind of had it. And this is what I think it kind of came from.
Even Stephon Marbury, I'm sure like he probably was doing some shit when he was young. I'm sure he didn't have the perfect childhood. Who knows what he could have been doing? We all done some things what they call, sins. But ultimately, man, like I said, if you can change your life for the better, I mean, he's a billionaire. That don't happen every day for black men.
Yeah,
it just don't.
Yeah,
and if you can argue about this and that, but the consensus is that Jay-Z does for his people. I mean, you can't say he don't. We talk about the bailing the people out, the criminal justice reform, everything is questioned that he does, but ultimately, like, he ain't have to do none of that.
Yeah.
So for him to do one of those or 10 of those things, it shows that he has some type of compassion, caring for his people. I mean, even if you look at, we talk about music and the message in music and how powerful, music really is. I think album 444, he's talking about, getting that drug money. If you got to do it that way, like you said, reinvesting and buying back the block, that's the way you do it. Everybody, according, to these scholars out here, use drug money and reinvest it. So why don't we do it, since that's, this is what's given to us, and a lot of us seem to be falling victim to that. Don't just settle there, take the money and flip it into something, get a laundromat, take it and flip it into this and get the hell out of the game. Bro. That's the message that he began to preach. Yeah, he talked about the crack and stuff and dealing that he did, but he evolved his message into ultimately that. Now, people may say, okay, he's still talking about, selling drugs. Hey, it is what it is, man. Some people out there are going to be in the streets. I grew up with cats where no matter what, they was going to hustle. It just was what it was. They was always wanted a way out. And if somebody could show them a way out, they would take it. But you got to get that money from somewhere. And if you get it from there, just try to do the right thing with it. That's been Jay-Z's message. So, I mean, hey, man, it is what it is.
Well said as well, oh God. And I also want to say this, man, because I don't think that Stephon Marbury was hateful in any way, because he's done an extreme amount for his community and great things out here, from the Marbury shoe, selling them at very cheap prices and getting people out there and doing things for his community out here that people weren't doing, and the status quo wasn't to do that. Stephon Marbury was doing that. That's a great brother. We would love to have him on the show to converse more about it. Just in this regard, I don't think it's fair to judge Jay-Z on what he did 23, 24 years ago based on the work that he's doing out here right now. It's just not cool. It's not, I don't say it's not cool, because you got your own right to your own opinion. I just don't see it as being kind of fair.
He's not promoting it now, and he's not doing it now for what we know. He ain't promoting that in his music no more. So, yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, I want to break and transition a little bit, man, because we weren't going to talk about Joe Budden. And I don't really want to get into the nuts and bolts of what's going on right now, because I want to give respect to the family and everybody involved. But I was looking on IG, and Isaac Hayes III brought up a good point that we didn't really talk about in the pre-production, and I want to get your attention on. So Joe Budden turns a new Spotify deal down because he's steadfast about owning his content, and less than a week later, there's an entire smear campaign against him. So if you can't own him, destroy him. Anyone participating in this evil act is whack.
Oh, you said that again?
All right, so I'm going to read the whole thing. Joe Budden turns down a new Spotify deal because he's been steadfast about owning his own content, and less than a week later, there's an entire smear campaign against him. So if you can't own him, you destroy him. Anyone participating in this is evil and whack.
No, but who said it?
Isaac Hayes III.
Okay, Isaac. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And Joe Budden, he put it up on his IG, and he said, "Internet, some of us were here before you. We understand how you work." So, now that doesn't get away from what he did, but like I said, out of respect for his family, because his family said, I don't know how this got out, was very steadfast and going, or the people involved said it, I don't want to say his family, for the sake of his child, they didn't want this to get out. So somebody leaked this. How the fuck does this kind of shit happen, oh God?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't, we don't dance up there with them type of, corporate,
I don't know.
People, we do this thing 100% independently. We come in here, we got our own building, we put what we want up, we say what we want on our platform, so we don't, with nobody's, we don't have a Gilletto moving the strings behind us. But I don't know about the smear campaign thing. I mean, I just don't. Yeah, I can't, co-sign of that. We see this stuff came out. Is it true? I'm not sure, so I really can't comment on that, man. But what I will say is that when I seen Joe Budden and Charlamagne going back and forth, I said they are both definitely needed in this culture. None of them ain't no Malcolm X, nothing like that, but they're definitely needed. What they bring, I think, is valuable, to the culture of hip hop, and their opinion, I think, oftentimes is needed. So you got to just be able to, Joe Buttons has been in this game for a long time. These guys have been in this game. This is not going to destroy you. I mean, people have known about drugs and different things you've done before. So this is just a part of the territory. You want to be number one. You want to be that dude. You want to be, in a private eye. Stuff like this is going to happen, especially the brothers and whatnot. You should be expecting this. This is my opinion. Not saying that it's right, but just should be expecting it.
It seems like he's seasoned and ready for the game, man. So hopefully everything can work itself out. The family can get back to doing what they were doing, distraction free, and he can go back to doing what he was doing.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Joe Button, yeah, man, definitely, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk about this other story, but we'll save it for another day. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, man. Well, look, give a shout out to my man Reese again, owner of Skio.
Yeah.
Show kindness, elevate each other, man. Out of Maryland and DMV, salute to him, man. Y'all go ahead and go check him out on IG. You know what I'm saying? And go support his project. You'll see, or support his movement, I should say. You'll see links in the description box for that, man. And also give a special shout out to our man Cassidy for dropping the dope ass intro that you guys hear, man. Y'all been talking, where's the music with Mr. Music? All right, we was like, hold on. We got something special for y'all.
Right.
And we went and got one of the greatest motherfucking rappers to ever do this shit to lay out the thing, man. It's dope, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we got some specials coming up for you real soon. We're going to be launching the Viral Sports Podcast.
Yeah, man.
Also,
Excited.
we got a live show. We're going to get back to doing our live show. We think that we're at where we need to be with the different angles. We're still tweaking it every day, the sound. We got some special things lined up for the show. We're going to be bringing people in, letting you guys call in and letting your commentary, letting your voice, I should say, be heard on here. So stay tuned for that, all the loyal listeners. And keep on rocking out with us, man. We promise to continue to give you non-stop content as long as you guys keep on supporting the brand. That's your brother Sam and Viral Hip Hop News. I'm your brother God. Hip Hop News Uncensored. Together we are the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Over and out. Peace.